Morning, it's Monday, April 22nd, about 6 a.m. Central Time. Overnight, the precious metals have an isolated bloodbath going on. You've got gold futures down about $45, $23.69, and then silver futures down $1.10, $27.74. So last week, we saw the CRB index close at the highest level since August 2024. Gold closed at new record highs, and energy prices were quite volatile with the uncertainty in the Middle East. The rising commodity prices will keep inflation high, preventing the Federal Reserve from cutting rates well into the second half of next year. Now, is that the reason why gold and silver are selling off here today? I don't think so whatsoever. I think that this is the markets had not made a new all-time high on an intraday basis here on the gold market on Friday, and that left traders a little bit uneasy coming into the weekend. I did see some late day kind of squaring up of positions, and I think traders are really focused on a couple things here. People don't want to hear it, but a lot of these people that were playing gold and silver here just recently, and mostly silver, are a bit of the people that are chasing momentum type strategies. So with the Bitcoin halving event over, Bitcoin futures up $18. That's about a 3% move higher. People are going into that. And then also back in the U.S. equities, we've got a strong recovery on the S&P 500 after Friday's that's own bloodbath. And then also the NASDAQ futures are up 87 points. Now remember, we're going to have a lot of earnings coming out of tech here. We've got to have Tesla earnings. We're going to have Meta. We're going to also have Microsoft and Google. So people want to position back into that. Now structurally, we usually sell off into the April 15th tax deadline. And then from that point forward, traders put positions back on with the uncertainty of what their tax bill will be, and prices tend to take off from here. So strength in the labor market will continue to support economic growth. But if you do look at the equities and you get underneath the hood of the S&P 500, you will see 95% of those companies are trading below their 20-day moving average. So there is a bit of a shift going on that's broad-based in the equity. So I don't think that we bounce up and make new all-time highs. I think most likely this 50-30 level on the S&P 500, bit of a pivot point here, 51.20 to 51.50. That's your major resistance point, and your support levels are going to be 49.40 down to 49.60. So something to note here is that if you look at the 10-year yield, we're at 4.59% versus 1 year ago we were at 3.58%, and the all-time high on the 10-year yield in 1980 was 5.65%. So a lot of things to unpack there as well. The energy markets, I think, remain a bit able to, sustain some pressure here if you don't see any kind of response in the Middle East or those tensions start to die down. Now, gold futures, now this is why I think also we're starting to sell off, is that we have the highest net long since June 2021. And if you look at silver, that's going to be its highest net long from the commitment of traders since February 2020. So you really want to see consolidation and not a correction go on here. But we are getting the correction as the weak hands, the people that buy towards the top, they'll put stop losses. And I saw a lot of stop losses getting hit in the overnight session. So where do I see value on the silver market? It's going to be about the 27.66 level, which is where we're approaching right now, puts the market down $1.15. I used to have clients back when I worked at Lynn Waldock and MF Global that would say, only call me when silver is down $1.50 in a day, and I had a laundry list of those people. What they would do is they would wait for that kind of bloodbath sell-off and say a lot of the froth has come out of the market. They would buy down there, and then if the market recovers at all intraday, those people that were stopped out will come back in and they'll push the momentum back higher as they feel like, oh no, my stop was hit. That was probably the low. Why did I even put a stop in at all? And now I got to get the heck back into the market here because it's going to take off without me to 35, 40, 60, whatever, $100 an ounce, whatever they think. Now on the gold market, I think 23.50 to 23.40 is kind of that threshold here where you'll see the selling momentum die off, and I think the bargain hunters come in around there. So copper futures Positive on the day, 452. Copper futures have been the one that Goldman Sachs says was going to be the leader on this entire thing, as well as the aluminum market. As they're structurally tightened, there's been a lot of destocking in those, and that we've seen manufacturing, industrial production. That's also rose for a second straight month. So the economy is on solid footing here. So liquidation continues to go on in the metals while I'm doing this video. So we'll see what happens here. If you haven't had any exposure to the gold or silver market, perhaps today might be a day where you start chalking up a strategy here and write out your plan your trades. So you got any questions, give me a call, 312-858-7303. Remember, futures option trading does involve risk of loss, may not be suitable to all investors. Good luck, good trading.